everybody, I'm Elyse Explosion and I am here with you today for a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, but one that I haven't really had the chance to just kind of sit down and do because I thought that I was going to have to write out questions. But as it turns out, somebody beat me to it several years ago and a quick little Google search brought up these questions. So this is going to be the Dolly collector tag. And this is going to be questions all about my doll collecting. And I want to throw it out there for any of my collector friends who happen to watch this video. If you would like to do this video too, I will leave the questions in the comments. I got them from, I don't actually follow this person, but I'll drop a link to their video in the comments. It doesn't look like they upload all that frequently. But back in 2018, they did this video and I liked the questions. They were very interesting. So I wanted to take a stab at it and I have them all here on my handy dandy cell phone. So first question is, how long have you been collecting? And I started collecting dolls, not counting when I was a kid. I've been collecting dolls since I want to say about 2010, 2011, when I bought my first Monster High doll. And I don't know if this story is going to come up later, but my first Monster High doll was a signature Ghoulia. I saw them on the shelf and I just needed to have her. I thought she was great and I still have her. She's one of my favorite Monster High dolls. And I don't know, it had me hooked. And since then it has been a wild, wild roller coaster of collections and collecting. The next question is, what do you collect? And so we all know that I collect dolls. That's a pretty obvious one. I mean, hang on, I'm gonna take you guys over here real quick to see the shelf. Let's see, does it move? Look there, it moves. Cool. Now let's put, oh, hi, welcome back, me. Oh no, oh, this is bad. Okay. We back? We back? Yeah, we're back. Okay. So I collect dolls. That's a pretty obvious one. But I also collect license plates, which you can see back there. I collect enamel pins. I collect pressed pennies. I have collected postcards and seashells in the past. I collect Funko Pops with my husband. Toys in general. I collect a lot of stuff. I've always been a collector. I love being a collector. I love collecting. I love the art of collecting. I love just collecting in general. So yeah, doll-wise, the main lines I focus on are Monster High, I guess American Girl to an extent, and just fashion dolls in general. I like a lot of the Japanese dolls, a lot of the ball-jointed dolls, but they're very expensive and I don't have that kind of disposable income, so I don't really collect those. As much as I'd like to. I do collect, I mean, obviously I have Blythes and I have pull-ups, but that's a different question. Question number 3, how many dolls do you have? I literally have no idea. I have over 100 Monster High dolls. I lost count. I think I might have like 125, maybe more now that I have the collector dolls. I easily have over 300 of various brands, collections, styles, types. And I don't have them all here. I have some here. I have some at my parents' house. I have some in storage. I like dolls. And maybe someday, maybe, you know, once we move, whenever that ends up being, and I have like a full place to go, I will get a better collection count, so to speak. But right now, I would say 300 plus at least. Question number 4, which of your collections are you the most proud of and why? So I think doll-wise, the collection I'm probably most proud of is my Monster High collection. I mentioned it before, it's probably my largest collection, but it's also, for me, one of the most complete. I have basically one signature doll for each character, plus a bunch of like really random ones. I have a lot of the Comic-Con dolls, I have a lot of the weird specialty dolls. I have all of the Skeletor dolls so far, minus the Haunt Couture. I have a lot. It was a very varied collection, and I have a lot of varied pieces from it, and I really, really like it. So that is Monster High for me. What am I doing with my hair? I'm having a day, friends. I'm having a day. Okay, so yes, Monster High, and Monster High is what got me collecting to begin with, so it's very special to me. Next question number 5. Which single doll cost you the most money? I have to think about that one. I'm pretty sure the one that I have spent the most money, and I don't have anything really outrageous. I don't have any BJDs. I don't have any American Girl CYOs. I think the doll that I spent the most money on is probably the pull-up for my Acid Candy Akemi. I think she was about $180, which is way more than I have ever spent and hopefully will ever spend on a doll. Well, who knows? I doubt that I will spend much more than that, but she was very special and I really, really love that doll. So she's probably the most I've invested into a single doll. Question number 6. Which doll line is your favorite to collect and why? Monster High. But I think also I like collecting for American Girl because I'm not really a completionist collector when it comes to American Girl. With American Girl, I have a tendency to get a lot of secondhand dolls and I customize them a lot. I re-wig dolls. I have a couple that have aftermarket eyes, I guess when they've been eye swapped. We've done some light customization on them, and I'm not as inclined to always buy specifically American Girl brand clothes. Some of them I really like, but there are a lot of really fabulous, really talented makers out there who make a lot of really fun AG clothes. I think that's why that collection is probably one of the most fun to pick up. I guess because, you know, the dolls themselves have a kind of intimidating price point if you're buying them new, but it's very easy to find them used for anywhere between like $30 and $50 with minimal damage. So it's an interesting starting point, especially for someone who collected AG as a kid. Question number 7. What made you want to collect dolls? For me, I think I was in grad school when I started collecting. And it was the sheer diversity of dolls available at that point in time. That was when a lot of the Playline dolls had gotten a little unique. There were, you know, you had the Monster Highs, there were Bratzillas, there were, Barbie, of course, but there were more interesting, like Pinky Cooper and the Novi Stars, Lala Loopsies, and Lottie Daws, and the Liv dolls, and there were so many at that point in time that you could go down the doll aisle and find something completely unique, completely random, that wasn't necessarily just a Barbie or a Disney princess doll. And I think that appealed to me. I didn't have that when I was a kid, so it kind of inspired me to pick up collecting as an adult. All right, question number 8. Which is your most wanted doll right now? Okay, of ones that I have not purchased, there's a pull-up that I have been making eyes at, and it is, let me pull it up. It is the Optical Alice doll. I think it's really, really pretty. Once it loads in on my phone, I'll show you guys. It's her. I would really, really like her. She's actually on sale right now, but I'm being very good and not spending money on her. There's also, I'm curious to see what the new Monster High dolls are going to look like. So before I make any commitments to that. Oh, and also, the LOL Teens, I guess they used to be the BTWs. I don't know what they're called now. But Emma Emo is extremely cute and I would love to add her to my collection. The next question, number 9, is which of your previously most wanted dolls do you have now? Everything, really. I don't want to like come off as standoffish, but I have an adult job with adult income, so typically if there's something that I want, I just buy it. I don't really have any Grail dolls in that sense. I just kind of pick things up. And if I see something that's really like astonishing, I'll kind of file it away for a rainy day, or I'll just impulsively buy it, which I don't recommend. Don't do that. Have better control over your finances than me. All right, number 10. What's the most dolls you've gotten at once? I guess this is a bit more like impressive for people that might buy more expensive dolls, but there have been times where I've gotten like 4 or 5 Monster High dolls at once. I remember going to the store and getting the entirety of the Freaky Fusion, the new dolls for that, and I think 1 or 2 Ever After High dolls. So that was probably like 6 dolls at once. I literally have 5 dolls sitting in a box waiting for me to open up right now. So I'd say that's like my limit. Any more than that, and unless I'm thrifting them, it tends to be a little bit much, especially on my wallet. Next question. Which is your least favorite doll? I don't buy dolls I don't like. I think, spicy here. I don't like Bratz. I've never liked Bratz. I'm not a fan of Bratz. I don't like their styling. They do not appeal to me. I don't like the fact that you can take their whole legs off to put shoes on. They're not mine. And that's okay. They don't have to be. But I think of the dolls that I own, the ones that I like the least, I'm pretty sure I have a Boxy Girl from like the first release that I bought to do a video on. And that purchase right there was one that told me you need to be more discretionary about what you bring into your house, because that is a really ugly doll. Like, I don't think it could even be fixed up to be nicer. So, question number 12. Which of your dolls has the best story in your life and in theirs? Okay, so I don't come up with backstories for my dolls. I don't do that. You're lucky if they get a name. I'm not the type of person to create characters for my dolls. It's just not something that I do. Yeah, it's not something that I've ever really done. That's not, like, I don't come up with original characters. The most exciting dolls to me are ones that are gifts that have meant a lot to me. Like my, okay, here's a deer. I've never shown her off on camera before, but this is my Welly Wisher. I don't actually know which one it is. I'll pop the name in at the bottom. But she was a gift to me from my dear friend Jelly. And she survived several moves, and she's a survivor, and I really, I dressed her up. She's now a little like rainbow skeleton girl. But she's very special to me. And also dolls that have been customized. I've done a video on her, but I have the Talia doll that I bought from Recreative Customs. Absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. I like to see how artists make their work unique and special. So that's the kind of doll that appeals to me if it's gonna have stuff like that. I guess next question, number 13. What do you do with your dolls? I just play them. I don't really play with my dolls. I'm a 35-year-old woman. I get a lot of enjoyment out of seeing them displayed. I love the colors. I love the aesthetic. I love to see the little faces. They're really cute. They're really fun. And that's what appeals to me. I know a lot of people like to take photographs of their dolls. I know a lot of people like to write stories about their dolls, to customize their dolls. And I get some enjoyment out of that as well. Not really the storying, but like the customizing part. But ultimately for me, they're friends that live in my house. So, yeah. All right. Question number 14. Are there any other collections that you want to start? Not right now. I think if I was really wanting to start it, I would have done so by now. I have a lot of dolls. So yeah, I don't really think there's anything that I actively am looking to start collecting. I don't think I have the space to actively start collecting anything else. There are a lot of collections that I love watching people obtain for themselves. Like some good friends of mine collect video games. I have a lot of friends who are action figure collectors. And I love that for people. It's just not in my cards at the moment. Number 15. Which of your dolls would you most like to be? I don't want to be a doll. I want to be me. I treat myself like a doll to begin with anyway. I can dress myself up however I want. I can change my hair however I want if I really wanted to. Like, that, isn't that the appeal of dolls? Like, to have, like, colorful play objects, and that basically is just how I exist in my life. You know, I don't have characters with outlandish and elaborate backstories, so I don't really have any envy for things like that. But, you know, I just, you know, I like to, you know what? I'd like to have some of the wardrobes for you know what? Operetta. I want her wardrobe. There. That's the one for me. I want Operetta's wardrobe like yesterday. Question number 16. Do people know that you collect dolls or toys? I mean, you guys do, don't you? You're people. But yeah, no, my family is aware. My coworkers are aware. My husband is clearly aware. And I haven't really gotten any crap for it. I mean, if they do, they don't tell me to my face, so that's cool. Fine by me. Number 17. Does your family support your collection? Doesn't really matter. I'm a 35-year-old woman. I don't care what they have to say about my collection. Like, if they like it or they don't like it, that's cool. They're entitled to their opinion, but their opinion does not affect my collections. I understand that question is probably a little difficult for, you know, people who might be younger collectors who might still be in high school. I know I've seen that as an issue in the past before. But for me, I've been an adult the entire time I've collected dolls, so they don't have any say in the matter. Question number 18. What was your first doll or toy collection that you can remember? I think, and I've talked about this briefly in more recent videos, but I think the first toy collection I remember having as a kid were Polly Pockets. And I still have that whole collection. Like, obviously we had Barbies. I don't know if I would have called that a collection, so to speak. We collected Beanie Babies. I still have a bunch of those. We lost a lot of our Beanie Babies in some flooding back in the early 2000s, and then the mid 2000s, and then the early 2010s. Living in New Jersey just means that you deal with a lot of flooding after a while. So I have to be a bit more careful about how I store things, but a lot of my plush did not survive hurricanes Floyd and then Sandy and Irene. So that was a big bummer, but most of the pieces in those collections that were very important to me, I still have. So yeah, those are like my first big collections. Number 19, which dolls started each of your collections? That's so many. Okay. Like I mentioned before, Ghoulia was my first Monster High doll, signature Ghoulia. My first American Girl doll was actually Samantha Parkington, but the first American doll that I actually gave a crap about was the Girl of Today. What were they calling them at the time? Yeah, it's American Girl of Today. And she's the one who's become little Elyse, who I've customized to look most like me. I'm looking over at her, but I can't get her off of the shelf right now, or else everything else is gonna fall. I guess, Ever After High was Maddie. Rainbow High were, I think it was Jade and Violet were the first two that I bought, and I don't have either of those anymore, so I rehomed them. And yeah, those are like the big ones, I think, of the series that I collect. Oh, and my first Blythe was one that I actually picked up at a toys show before the pandemic. So that's the big collections right now. Number 20, what is your favorite place to shop for dolls? You know, it's different now, because when I first started collecting, one of the things that I used to do was doll hunting. I used to, you know, I had a lot of time off, and I would drive to different stores to see what they had in stock, if they got anything new, if there was anything exciting to see. I remember going to I'd go to Target, I'd go to Walmart, I'd go to Toys R Us. I miss Toys R Us badly. Toys R Us was great, even if their prices were crap. Right now, I mostly just buy things on Amazon, or if I encounter them in person. As for specialty dolls, I get a lot of my Blythes on AliExpress. Most of my pull-ups I get from the Groove store. And I buy a lot of things secondhand on Mercari and eBay. I do desperately miss the thrill of doll hunting in person, but it's not the same anymore. Yeah, so that's the Dolly collector tag. I will leave the questions in the description of the video. I would love to see more of my Dolly pals do this one. It's a little different. Like, obviously I'm not showing off too much of my collection right now, but I feel like it was a nice low-key way to get me back into doing doll things and other things, because I am not exclusively a doll channel. But that being said, friends, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you'd like to see more tag videos, more Q&A videos, you're in luck. I've got a whole bunch of those and I will link some at the end of this video. Everybody take care, be well, and I will see you in the next video. Later!